See how fast this bike goes, 0 to 60. Gotta cut down on the wind noise. Trying out a new helmet cam setup. This is being filmed with an iPod Touch. It fits perfectly in this helmet. It's a really good setup since the iPod Touch is so thin. My face isn't touching it. It's not obstructing my view at all. I'm really happy with the amount of power this bike has. It's got all the power that you need. You can ride 2 up with it. If you're 200 pounds and have a 150-pound girlfriend, I hope you don't, but you know, if you do, she can still ride on the bike with you. For street riding, it's pretty hard to beat this little bike. Pretty comfortable. The riding position is almost completely upright. Comfortable for passenger, just like any other super sport. It's not going to be a Harley Davidson or a Goldwing or anything. Just a real nice riding bike. The old bike was stable, but this thing, just the way that this new the new frame and the new suspension eats up the road, you get a lot better road feel. It is a little bit stiff, but it's adjustable suspension, so I like it this way because I get a lot of feedback from the road surface. It stops you from getting complacent, but it just feels, everything feels tighter. The way the bike handles is so much tighter than the other bike. It's a lot more stable on the highway. It's not as affected by crosswinds or semis or anything blowing past you. Now, when you throw your weight around on it, it rocks because it's so light up top and it's got narrower tires. But in a straight line, this thing's really stable. Through the turns, it's really stable if you know what you're doing with it. I really like what they've done to it. It's an awesome revision. So kudos to Kawasaki, because I had just about completely turned my back on that company. It's been, I haven't bought a Kawasaki since I bought that 650R over 4 years ago. So I've been waiting in the wings for a fuel injected 250, and they gave me something even better, fuel injected 300. I'm going to see how well you can see that speedometer. I'm not sure. So just very, very, very nimble. Awesome power. You know, the guy at the dealership, and I'm not going to say where I bought it, but the guy at the dealership was kind of he kind of undersold the bike. Maybe he wanted to have it on the floor a little longer because it was his only one. He was the first one he got in, and I think it was bringing people in the door that wanted to come look at it, and then he'd sell them on something else maybe. Well, maybe he just had never ridden the bike, because he told me he figured I was a new rider since I was looking at it, and I said, well, my main bike is a 600RR, and he said, oh, that thing's going to feel like a scooter compared to your 600. So that kind of lowered my expectations a little bit after I bought it, and I'm thinking maybe it does feel like the old 250R, with just a little smoother power, a little better mid-range or low end, and it doesn't. Like I've been saying, it feels like a baby 650R, not like a big 250R. Very punchy in the low to mid RPM, and I don't mean punchy as in twitchy or anything like that. I mean the bike's got it's got plenty of power down there, which is really impressive. Gorgeous night for riding. Nice windy road. Not as windy as I'd like with this, how nimble this thing is. I mean, see that dive? Just transitions so quickly. It's very sure-footed or short-tired. That was a joke. It's on tires, not on feet. Excellent smooth power, and they didn't overdo it or anything crazy. I mean, it's in a completely different class, realistically. The CBR 250R, I really admired what Honda did with that. They came out with a single-cylinder bike, which is a lot more rider-friendly, a lot more friendly to commute on and things. But that's still a true beginner's bike for the most part. There's plenty of experienced riders that'll buy them. I didn't buy one because I didn't like the looks of it, but that was even less powerful than the 250R. And the 250R was adequate, and this bike is more than adequate. A really experienced rider on this bike would be a terror. You put on some real sticky tires, and it would just, you could probably embarrass much larger, more expensive bikes on a real windy road, and you're not going to have anything on them on a straightaway, but that's excellent roll-on power right there. We go 60 miles an hour, right at just over 6,500 RPMs. Good cruising. A little bit of vibration in the handlebars on this bike. Probably more than I would like, but it's a lot smoother than the old bike. I think they said they rubber mounted the engine now. You can feel the difference. But after, I'll tell you, after an hour or two, that vibration will start to wear on you a little bit. When you kind of stop noticing it, and you get off the bike and your hands are kind of numb. But that's the nature of the beast with a twin. A little two-cylinder engine is going to do that to you all the time. So, excellent feedback from the road. A lot of roll-on power right now. You're just so used to downshifting twice on the 250 that it's just a completely different world jumping up to this 300 and then just having that roll-on power. Great for the highway. You will not have much roll-on power at 70 miles an hour. If you're going 70 and there's a guy going 70, you want to crank it up to 80 and 90 and pass them. It's not going to be anything like a 650R. It's going to creep up a little bit, but it's not going to take off. But down here on a country road, 50 miles an hour, and you want to get up to 60, shoots right up there. The pegs are pretty close to the seat, so my legs are about where they are on a 600 Super Sport. 650R will give you a little bit more relaxed riding style as far as the legs go. The handlebars in the 650 are even higher. One of the other great things about this bike is the styling really disguises it. I went over to the MSF school, one of the Motorcycle Safety Foundation schools today, where I'm teaching. And one of the other instructors was out there and could not believe that this was a 300. He was talking to all the new riders about bikes and stuff, and basically pointed out, yeah, you don't want to get a bike like that. You know, people do stupid things on those. They're always riding around on one wheel. And it's an older guy, so that's the way he talks about it. Like, oh, those damn kids on their Super Sports. I told him it was a 300. And he didn't quite get it. I said, you know the Ninja 250? Yeah. Yeah, that's the new 250, basically. They bumped it up to 300. And he was shocked. Just because it looks like a bigger bike. Alright, let's finally pass this guy. Yeah, plenty of roll-on power there. We'll take this guy too. Brights. I hope this has been a helpful video for you guys.